Today is officially the big day. No, it's not Christmas. No, it's not Halloween. But it is officially the launch day for Season 3 of WWE 2K26. And boy, do we have a lot to discuss and a lot to discover, because 2K has given us a pretty decent amount of content in this season. And I'm really excited to discuss it, because I gotta say, spoiler alert. Okay, I don't want to fully spoil it yet, but if you are a fan of a certain phenomenal star, or excuse me, a fan of a certain lone wolf, then you're gonna really want to hear this. But again, man, timestamps in the description below. I just want to go ahead and discuss some of these things before we go to the Ringside Pass. And so with that being said, the first thing that I do want to address is 2K, they didn't feel the need to put this in the patch notes or put out a statement about it. And so, I don't know why, but shout out to Viz, because Viz said that facial sliders are fixed as of patch 1.12. And again, Viz also reiterates this about, which is something, because why not mention this in the patch notes? And I gotta be honest, at this point, I'm convinced that maybe they just fixed it accidentally and they didn't even know it was fixed. Or maybe an intern just forgot to put it in the patch notes. Most likely that's going to be the realistic answer, but again, who in the hell knows at this point. Then another issue I do want to briefly address. For those of you who didn't know, there's been some sort of an issue with community creations as of late, in the sense that it's been kind of deleting and removing some of people's content and uploads. And so Cornell put out a tweet last night saying, have you had content removed from community creations because it included your social media handle? He says that if so, reply to this tweet with the details and your 2K account name so that they can better get an understanding of the impact. And he, of course, he can help ensure that your feedback, it reaches the people at 2K support. So if you've been having that issue, I guess, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I'm gonna link the tweet in the description. Go ahead and let them know, etc., etc. And then let's go ahead and get into the actual patch notes. I say this every single time. It's almost to the point where it's like, I need to make a t-shirt that says it, because I sound like a broken record. Do you know why? Go ahead and say it with me. Do you know what the first thing that's in the patch notes says? I'm gonna give you 3, 2, 1. Did you guess it? General stability and performance improvements. Wow, who could have saw that coming? But the first actual thing, real thing in the patch notes is for the live service slot game mode, the island. The first two entries are actually, it's going to be the island and then MyFaction. But for the island, chapter 2 begins. The Order of Malice is here, and so the story continues with new quests and matches to play. Will your order be able to stand strong will your order be able to stand strong against this new threat, or will you fall as you watch Malice rise? And now I do just want to kind of put this out there. I don't know how true it is, but to any of you who ever played the older WWE games, the SmackDown versus Raws, I'll even say WWE 12, because it technically had a road to WrestleMania in it. I don't even know how true it is, but there was always this rumor that the writers, the WWE writers, they would kind of give them feedback, suggestions, and ideas for storylines that they just kind of scrapped in real life, or stuff they wanted to kind of tease or test out, and then they would put it into the game. And so if you remember, we had some wacky storylines, we had some crazy stuff. John Cena turning heel, Rey Mysterio turning heel back to back in SVR 2011 and WWE 12. You had the United Kingdom, that faction. You had Sheamus winning basically every single championship in the WWE. You had Miz becoming a general manager. And so I'm kind of wondering, are we seeing a similar thing here with chapter 2 of the island, with the whole Order of Malice? Like, is this something that maybe they kind of scrapped in real life for a faction? Maybe it's something they just kind of want to test out. Then again, it's the live service slot mode, so maybe they wouldn't even bother using something like that for this game mode. But let me know your thoughts on that. Then of course, they did add some actual more stuff into the season update for the faction, for the island. They added ranks for season 3, leaderboards, They even added a Money in the Bank event tower with Dom, and then of course new shopping bundle items, and then again general improvements. And then to keep up the whole theme of live service slop, the very next thing they addressed is MyFaction. And I gotta say, MyFaction, if you look at the patch notes this year, MyFaction is a mode that it's had a lot of work done, and even in this one there's still a decent amount of things that they addressed in it, and it's almost to the point of like, damn, these live service game modes, they don't work, they don't function. Or excuse me, the only thing these modes seem to be able to do properly is take your money. But we don't want to get into that, do we? The first thing that 2K addressed here is they addressed reported concerns of the green check not showing up when a card requirement was met for having a card in the player's collection, but not in the current lineup for a live event. They addressed reported concerns of superstars becoming frozen when grappling during a run-in. And I do just also want to say this as well. If you read the patch notes for like every single patch when it comes to MyFaction, for some reason it seems like run-ins, they just don't work. Almost every single patch, if they do something for MyFaction, it's going to be one or two, or even in some cases 3 things that involve run-ins. And it's to the point of like, should run-ins even be in that game mode? Because apparently it doesn't seem to work as intended. They address reported concerns of the pack market recommended page resetting to the first page after you would purchase a card. They address instances where a superstar's name would extend beyond the card in certain localized languages. They address reported concerns of the quick breather badge failing to activate during automatic rollouts. They address reported concerns of players being taken to the main menu after equipping a side plate. And then last but not least, for MyFaction, 2K addressed reported concerns of a random crash occurring after you would accept an online lobby invite while you were on the versus screen for a MyFaction multiplayer match. Then up next, we're going to get our first touch on an offline mode, single player mode, because they have also addressed universe mode in this patch. Tag team superstar names will now appear correctly in the rivalry action news. I didn't really see anyone complaining about this, so I didn't even know it was an issue, but still good that they took the time to fix it. A non-title match will no longer be switched to a championship match when applying a Money in the Bank distraction rivalry action. The statistics for eliminations will now be counted properly when a superstar gets an elimination using the top rope minigame during Royal Rumble matches. The rivalry results menu will now appear properly when completing a brawl match with the partner Chaos in the ring rivalry action. And then general managers will now use their entrance attire for draft scenes. I thought they already did that. And then of course, with this season, we got the DLC characters, and they've added brand new entrances. We got Parka, Matt Cardona, Torrie Wilson, and then of course, Brian Pillman. 2K also addressed reported concerns of ladders or stairs clipping into superstars during entrances. Glad that they finally decided to do something about that. They've addressed reported concerns of weapon floating and warping during victory celebrations. I didn't see this, but not a surprise that it was in the game in the first place. They addressed reported concerns of the director camera clipping into superstars. I have seen that a few times. 2K addressed reported concerns of props being misaligned during a few cutscenes. They addressed reported concerns of entrances not loading properly. I'm curious though if this was more of an online thing, or if it was strictly single player, or maybe even both. They addressed reported concerns of facial animations not triggering during some tag team entrances. And then here's the exciting part. We have an audio. That's right, we have an audio update. Now we already know Kane 2000 theme was going to be added to the create an entrance. We already know Slow Chemical was going to be included because of Kane 01. They added the Borders theme to Rey Mysterio Jr. 01. But here's the interesting one. They've added AJ Styles' Lone Wolf theme song to create an entrance. And for those of you who somehow don't know it, AJ Styles' Evil Waves theme song when he turned heel in TNA in 2013, and he was coming out with like the all black gear, like the biker helmet, the biker jacket. And Evil Waves was one of the hardest theme songs of all time. And they added it into the game. You don't have to pay for it. You don't need an AJ Styles 2013 Persona card, although I wouldn't be shocked if they released one later on. The theme song is just there and create an interest. It's for free. So hold on, slight interruption, slight pause. While I was in the middle of editing this video, I went to go see what some people were saying on Twitter about, Evil Ways, and it turns out they kind of completely removed the intro. It's a heavily edited version of the song, and it does sound a little bit different. So while I'm still excited that we have Evil Ways, it is kind of like, you could have kept the intro, but I guess it's just subject to opinion on it. But with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the DLC, because first off, man, we gotta go ahead, welcome my boy back. Zack Ryder, or as he's known nowadays, Matt Cardona, has made his long-awaited return to the WWE game series. Now, I can't speak on the rest of the people in this pack, but Cardona himself, he actually did the mocap for all of his moves. And something that's interesting as well, he comes with a new signature, he comes with 2 new finishers, 2 variations of the Rough Rider. As a matter of fact, he has a super finisher version of the Rough Rider as well, but in total, he comes with 9 new moves. Gonna be really interesting to see what people will do with him in the game, in their universe modes, etc, etc. Now up next, we have the WWE Hall of Famer herself, Torrie Wilson. This is Torrie Wilson's first time in a WWE game in almost 20 years. Like, I'm not even over exaggerating. She quite literally missed the entirety of the PS4, Xbox One generation, which is absolutely insane when you really sit there and think about it. And just like Cardona, Torrie comes with a set of new moves. In total, she brings 7 new moves to the game, including her nose job signature move, and then of course the appropriately named Tornado DDT, and then somebody else who's also making their long-awaited WWE games return, the one and only Brian Pillman, who, if you pay attention, the last time Pillman was in a game was WWE 2K17. So while he hasn't been as gone as long as Torrie, he's still been gone for a whole decade, which again is absolutely insane. But he also comes into the game as well with a whole new set of new moves. He brings in a whopping 13 new moves and taunts. Absolutely insane. And then somebody else who's also making their WWE games debut and their WWE 2K debut, Parka. Parka is coming into the game as well, and not only does he have a cool entrance animation, which, let's be certain, you will see a lot of people use on their OCs, he brings in 8 new moves and taunts into the game, and he's also wearing gear from his 2025 NXT Halloween Havoc appearance. So really cool to have him into the game as well. And of course, you already know by now, you will be able to use these characters in MyFaction once you get the MyFaction card in the Ringside Pass. And since we're on the whole topic of MyFaction and things that 2K has added, shout out to Status, because he gave us the rundown on even more stuff coming to the game. So he said that a couple of new character name entries were added with patch 1.12. At some point, we're going to see Seth Rollins 17, the Hardy Boys 2000, Cody Rhodes 22, Undertaker 90, an Elite action figure CM Punk, Team Extreme 2000, Bayley 20 was added, Ichiban Hulk Hogan, Lyra Valkyria 24, Randy Orton 15, and then not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 Roman Reigns Persona cards, and they're just the same exact thing, with the only difference being his tattoos are a different color. As to why in the hell they just wasted 5 slots for that, I honestly couldn't tell you. And then somebody who's been added into the game with this patch that you can just automatically use him. He's not a Persona card. The Take-Two CEO himself, Mr. Strauss Zelnick. And I can already tell you, people are not happy because, and I did see somebody say something about it, his theme song is My Way by Frank Sinatra. The CEO of the company can get a Frank Sinatra theme song, but yet you couldn't bother giving us Dark State? Who in the hell is going to use the Take-Two CEO in this game? I mean, like what are we doing? Also, on the whole topic of persona cards, Cornell was asked a question as well. Somebody said, genuine question: why can't the women get personas, actual legit personas, in the Ringside Pass? This one does have 4, which we're gonna get to shortly, and they said that not a single woman's persona can be added. And Cornell responded, and he said he hears you. This will be addressed. So maybe season 4, we're gonna see more women's persona cards, I'm assuming, because obviously, like Status just told us, Bayley 20, Lyra Valkyria 24, etc., etc. Which I know a lot of people are gonna hate this as well, and I think it's a valid criticism. But you're just taking old recycled content, and you're either making us pay for it, or you're gonna throw it in the Ringside Pass. And it's like, why should it should just be free in the game? Which I guess technically it is sort of free in the Ringside Pass, but some of it they still have been selling in MyFaction this year. I've spoken out about it a lot. I think it's just kind of dumb for you to recycle used content that was literally in the previous game, and you bring it back the next year and you treat it like it's something new. Like, I don't, what's the game plan? Kind of stupid, if we're just gonna be honest. And then last but not least, let's go ahead and jump into the Ringside Pass. And since we're speaking about recycled content, you are gonna see a lot of it in this Ringside Pass. Now, I'm gonna have the entire thing on the screen, but I just want to specifically highlight what I feel are like the most important things in this pass. So first things first, Tyrese Halliburton, he's coming back. He was, a DLC character in 25. He's going to be in the Ringside Pass at tier 7. He's going to be in the free tier. Once you get to tier 13, once again in the free tier, we're going to get the Oscar Mutiny Persona card, which if you played My Rise last year, that's how you would originally unlock Oscar in her Mutiny gear. And that's what the first thing I'm like, recycled content. But you know what? Okay, cool. The 720 DDT is also in tier 13, but this is in the premium tier. Rey Mysterio 99, he's also going to be premium tier, but for tier 20. The 2 wheelbarrow Dragon Sleepers, they're going to be in tier 25, also premium tier. Then we're going to get the Solo Sikoa NXT 2.0 gear. He is in the free tier, but he's at tier 26. The Swanton 450, which is Leon Slater's move, and I gotta be honest, I was kind of shocked that he wasn't DLC for this game, because I mean, yeah, he's in TNA, but so are the Hardys. And I mean, he was literally on NXT. How many matches did he wrestle in NXT last year? He was on NXT a lot. Then of course, he was also wrestling on John Cena's final show. So I'm shocked that Leon Slater didn't make the cut. I think his TNA contract is coming up soon, and let's be for real, he's gonna probably sign with WWE. So I feel like it was a missed opportunity that he wasn't in the game. And I mean, let's be for real, I would have much preferred him in the game over, say, Jelly Roll or Mr. Zelnick. I know I'm not the only person who feels that way. Then Brock Lesnar, specifically the Backlash 2003 version of Brock, he's going to be at tier 40 for free. Then of course Kane 01, last but not least, he's also tier 40, but he's for the premium section. And so, and of course, we got more things in this pass. You got, persona cards for MyFaction of the DLC characters. We got a DDP persona card for MyFaction. Well, not even a persona card, but a DDP MyFaction card. There's a Stone Cold MyFaction card. You got the logos. You got a couple of wardrobe pieces. You got some NWO shorts, an NWO jacket, the Kane 01 mask. You got the Parka mask. You got a bunch of logos, MyFaction points, VC, attribute upgrades. You know what to expect as far as all of that goes. But the thing that I'm really curious about the most is, what is everyone's opinion to this reused, recycled content? And I'm almost certain that in season 4, the persona cards that we're gonna get for like the women, since we brought that up, I'm willing to bet it's gonna be recycled. It's gonna be Bailey 20, Lyra 24. And so I'm just kind of really curious to see what is everyone's opinions on it. What is everyone's thoughts? Are you glad to get stuff coming back from 25? But do you feel that it's kind of stupid that it's just recycled content in these ringside passes? Which I have said it all year long. It shows you that these WWE games, they aren't meant to be live service. Truthfully, the NBA 2K games aren't either, but that formula, it kind of makes much more sense. I mean, I don't even know how anyone can still play NBA 2K, but in that format, with those season passes, I can kind of see it. But in these WWE games where, let's face it, most people are going to be playing this for the single player experience, or I guess couch co-op experiences, or just private matches with their friends. So realistically, the whole Ringside Pass idea, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work because you don't know what to put into content. And now you're just going to hand out stuff that was unlockable in the previous game. Like, what is the game plan? But maybe I'm tripping. But overall, season 3, we got a lot of different things. We got some fixes. We got some new stuff, new clothes. We got DLC characters. We got the debut of Parka. We got the return of Matt Cardona. We got a lot of different things. We even got the Take-Two Interactive CEO, because oh my god, I can't wait to make him the WWE champion. Oh no. But hey, let me stop. Let me chill out before Mr. Zelnick sends those goons to my house, because if you know, Take-Two Interactive, they don't play around. If you know, you know. But in conclusion, I do just want to say, season 3, glad we got some more DLC characters. I'm really glad that we got some more moves. I think it's great that they gave us Slow Chemical. They gave us Kane 01's actual theme song for the people who prefer the accuracy. We got Slow Chemical, so you don't need to pay to try to get his persona card. We got AJ Styles' Evil Ways / Lone Wolf. Now that right there, that alone, when I saw that, I didn't even think it was real. I saw Cornell posting like AJ's entrance, and I saw people saying like Evil Ways, and I was like, what? There's no way. So for that to be in the game, I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow. And then I just also want to say though, man, really though, let me hear your thoughts on it. What are you enjoying the most? What are you disliking? I'm really curious to see what is everyone going to do with these DLC characters if you plan on using them. I think with Matt Cardona specifically, I'm just going to use him maybe in my mid-card scenes in like Raw or SmackDown. Although I do have a universe mode that I stream on where it's just like total chaos, total pandemonium. It's people who, like are retired, people who have unfortunately passed away, so we can get a lot of dream matches. And I do have ECW in it. And I mean, Matt Cardona, he did a lot of hardcore matches in the indies, especially in GCW. We know his wife Chelsea Green, she gets down with it. She don't mind taking a crazy bump. And I got them on my ECW brand. So hey, that's something you should come check out sometimes. But either way, man, if this is your first time stopping by the channel, go ahead and get that leg ready. Go ahead and hit a bit of a do, because I want you to tune that band up. Then I want you to hit that like button with the meanest. I'm talking about, I want you to hit it with the meanest super kick, the meanest sweet chin music, the hardest super kick party that you can even muster up. I'm talking about a super kick harder than the super kicks that Jay and Jimmy were spamming over and over at WrestleMania 40. Oh. But then we're not done. I want you to pick up that subscribe button. I want you to pick them up and I want you to drive it straight into the mat, because we're going to get the 1, the 2, and the 3. Because once again, over at Trust the Same, we have the greatest undefeated streak of all time. But either way though, man, hey, your boy getting ready to sign out. Take it easy.